Disclaimer. At Two Addicts and a Moron, we discuss personal stories of addiction with the intention of being educational, relatable, and inspirational. The views and experiences shared are those of individuals involved, are not meant to glorify or condone any illegal or harmful behavior. This content is for educational purposes only and is not intended as professional advice. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, we strongly encourage you seek help from a qualified professional or support service. And just like that, we are back to another episode of Two Addicts and a Moron, man. I miss you.
I miss you too.
Joe. I mean, we see each other all the time, but
Yeah,
Joe, not so much, man. We've gone a couple weeks without seeing Joe.
No dick pics, no nothing.
Nothing,
Weird.
dude. You don't call, you don't write. You're just like, when is it time to film? Like you're just all business, no friends. All right. Well, anyway, miss you, buddy. We're glad to be back from Iowa. Mm-hmm. This is the first episode since Marshalltown, Iowa, and I want to get into that a little bit later. But we have brought a very special guest in the house.
Special. Yeah.
Tyler, everybody.
I'm
hey, what's
guest.
up, dude? What's
Hey guys,
up?
it's really nice to be here with you guys.
This is like a long time coming. Yeah, we were saying Mike has been talking about getting you in here for a long time.
Well, he had to wait on me to get substantially sober again, so that it's like someone would listen to anything that I said. Be like, how long you got now? I was like, we're getting there. I'll feel confident to talk to you about things in about 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
So here we are. We've reached that threshold, I think.
Well, that's awesome, dude. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that we finally got you on. And,
Yeah, it's really nice to be here.
And let's get into it, dude. So, how long have you been sober?
15 months now.
Hey,
so June. Thank you. Thank you.
Fucking go, dude.
June 3rd of 2024.
All right.
That
All
makes
right.
15 months, right? We're close enough. Yeah,
Close enough.
I'm counting.
All right.
Yeah, I'm counting. Like my life depends on it sometimes. Like, fucking, how long are we at now? Shit.
Hey, that's awesome. And what was the DOC?
Man. So the DOC in my 20s was meth. It's
Okay.
been when I went in this time, I was shooting a bunch of cocaine. It's been alcohol. It's been kratom.
Okay.
I will use anything, even if I hate it. I will use it. Just whatever's around.
So, like, Steven, what you got?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was my
absolutely.
favorite answer, like, ever. I was like, what's your DOC? It's something I ask everybody. And he's like, shit. What you got, man?
That's the best answer. Was this a gravelly voice Steven from the
Steven
Under the
Sheehan?
Bridge? Hell
Yeah,
yeah. He's
dude.
definitely a what you got kind of
He's
guy.
fucking awesome.
Mine was usually just like happenstance. It was like, oh, this guy's near and he sells coke, so now I guess I'm doing coke or like, but you know, it's absolutely what happened. I was just like, all of a sudden, I'm just bad off on cocaine. Just like, what the fuck? I hate cocaine.
I do
And
too.
here I am. I've been doing it, shooting it for weeks now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the kratom too. It's like you just go into a gas station, you get kratom.
Well, that's what alcohol freaks me out, dude.
Right.
Like, I mean, it doesn't freak me out. I can have a drink still and be okay. But for alcoholics, people who have struggled with that disease, it's always like the one that I am blown away that you're able to stay off of the most.
Right. Yeah. I mean, every time you go into any kind of store,
The barrier to entry, right? Like we've talked about that a few times in here, is so much easier and so much more acceptable. Like,
Well, every sports game is pretty much fucking sponsored by alcohol, right? Baseball, football, you call it.
Canelo's fighting tonight. He has Hennessy
Yeah.
fucking huge on his, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's,
I don't think I've ever drinking Hennessy. We're gonna be. I don't sound like a Hennessy guy. Never been there. But yeah, absolutely. The cost of admission for alcohol is so low,
and the
I mean,
acceptability of it too.
I was at a concert the other night, and I was with one of my friends, and he was like looking at me. He's like, what the hell do you do? And I'm like, I'm at a concert with you. What do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the music, and it's like it's so ingrained in our social psyche that like alcohol makes everything better. Alcohol is necessary to have a good time. Alcohol is like the perfect accoutrement to any situation. That alcoholics are just. I'm in the same boat where I'm like, you guys are fucked. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And they would be, if they had to like fight that urge
Right.
24/7.
Right, dude, because it's at Chuck E. Cheese.
Right.
It's at fucking, I mean, it's fucking literally
You
everywhere,
just
dude.
Sign
You go,
your child in, and
yeah,
then,
you
and
go,
then
yeah, you go
to
hit the bar,
yeah.
right? You know, like the Lakeline Mall has a bar in the middle of the motherfucker now.
And you can walk around with the drinks.
yeah, now you
don't
just,
have to sit at the bar anymore.
That's
I noticed that
crazy.
yesterday.
Wait, you can walk around the mall with your drink now?
Yeah, you just can't leave the mall with it.
That's really good for normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Like if I could enjoy, I can see how that would be a really nice thing. If I could enjoy,
If
liquor
you're
normally,
shopping with your wife, it's like, fuck.
100%. Yeah,
Oh, this is so much better. You know?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, nothing makes like a trip to the mall okay,
Yeah.
but it can be almost okay. Like you could almost be there.
Yeah, man. So how long were you in the fight for? How long were you struggling?
So, the first time I did anything about my addiction was 20. I was 23. At that point, I I'd lost like a 4 out of college. I had just lost 2 jobs. I'd been struggling with not knowing how to cope with trauma for years. But at that point, I thought that I can just kind of go reset. Like I'll go to this rehab. I'll get some good time under me, and I'll be able to kind of reset my life. And that was the first time. So at 23, and I went two more times. I went 2 more times of treatment before I had any like real substantial sobriety. The second time I went into treatment. So the first time I was drinking a lot, and I was like, we had found some heroin, but we were snorting it, and it wasn't awful. I've experienced way worse. The second time I came in, I weighed like $140. I had been in psychosis for weeks. My legs were covered in scabs because I thought that there were bugs in my skin, and I had been like picking at myself.
Is this meth?
This is meth.
Oh yeah, dude, the bugs in the
days.
skin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is the meth days. I spent like 8 years. I guess in total on meth. So that's the second time, and that's technically like the worst that I ever was when I checked into treatment at 25. And it was still another 5 years before I got any real sobriety. And then I had 3 years. I relapsed for a few months. Then I met Stu.
Best day of his
So
fucking life.
altogether 12, 13 years of like hard enough use that I realized that life sucked. Like hard enough use that like it wasn't fun anymore, and I knew that this was just something that I was doing to survive as opposed to like having fun. I'd say 12 or 13 years altogether.
So the first time that you went into treatment, like how long were you? What was the length of time from when you felt like it started it to when you got to that point? Trying to break down the timeline here. Like how early?
how old
when
were
did
you when you
start?
when I
first started
started
using?
drinking?
Yeah, that
Okay,
was a stupid way of asking that question. Sorry.
No, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Words.
Common core question.
Yeah.
Give
me a
we
fucking
got to
word
break it down.
problem.
We got to break it down.
3
backwards.
square.
From 15 to 23.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first time I drank, like I blacked the fuck out. And the second time I drank, I blacked out. And the third time, I think it was like 6 times before I could like successfully drink.
All right.
And like go home and like not like remember what happened. Went from alcohol, weed, like that was my whole identity. It was like I'm a little stoner guy.
Yeah.
First time I went from like 1 line of cocaine to like stealing money from people's cars within like a 2-week span. So if you introduce a drug to me and like there's a substantial amount of it,
You're getting after it.
right? And I'll use it alcoholically, like
Yeah.
immediately. Like there's no, I've never been under the delusion that I could control things.
Right.
Honestly, and everyone around me, even from a young age, has been like, this guy will fuck some shit up. Like he will embarrass himself. He'll embarrass the people around him. Like I so many blackouts, woken up in jail multiple times. But yeah, so incrementally things getting worse and worse from 16 to 23 before I really decided like this is a problem that I should go take a look at. But I just assumed that it wouldn't be that hard of a problem to solve.
Yeah. Why did you do drugs and alcohol?
Why? You know, okay, so
It's a complicated question.
it is a complicated question, and the answer to like the initial. So I remember, like, I distinctly remember as a kid having these assemblies where they would bring in people to tell you about the dangers of drugs.
Yeah.
And we had one. It was like these two guys that looked like Wayne and Garth. And they were called nerds, the never ending radical dudes.
Oh boy.
And they were absolutely, dude.
Jesus.
And they were there. They were there to tell us about the perils of drug use.
Oh my God.
And I just remember thinking to myself, like at like 9 years old, like, I don't know, that sounds kind of nice. You
Yeah.
know, like I want to try that. Like I want to give it a go. Like even at 9, I was just like, I think I was cognitively aware that like at some point in my life, I would probably try that.
Okay.
But I did drugs because I wanted to fit in and be cool.
Yeah.
To be honest, like I was a lost little kid. At 15, I wanted to feel like, you know, I was liked and respected. I spent most of my time in my room reading, so it was like my way to try to, you know, come out of my shell and come out and be with other people. And drugs helped me do that.
Yeah. And it's weird because like I've tried just about every drug. They just never stuck, right? Like I
Right.
just can leave them alone. But I can look back on it now and be like, the only reason why I ever did them was because I was trying to fit in or be cool to the group of people that I was around, right? So I get that. I mean, that's what makes me think that it's not so... There is a degree of it that's physical.
Oh yeah,
in addition
100%.
to the
Right.
mental side, it's
Right.
the perfect thing. I don't know what the right answer is, and nobody will probably ever figure that the fuck out.
That's such a complicated issue to even look at. Because you know, there's a lot of people that they all assume it's trauma. They all assume that like that's why they say it's like a maladaptive coping strategy. I think is like people assume that it's a trauma response, but I know people who, you know, have normal ass childhoods that end up like street junkies.
Yeah,
It's like it's definitely not one size fits all. But I knew when I started doing drugs that like, I was curious of like, how would that feel?
yeah,
You know, and the friends that I had also did drugs, and so we did drugs together, and it was a good time for a long time. And then I am someone who has significant trauma. I have some sexual trauma from around in high school, and when that happened, like there was definitely like a switch where it became a coping strategy, and it became like I've got to blank out to some extent or numb myself numb yourself is such a misnomer because a lot of times it's the exact opposite of numb yourself. You like become more aware and more susceptible to the pain. But my brain tells me it's okay to do this, and my brain tells me that this is a way to make myself feel better. And so it went from like I just drank and smoked weed with my friends to like I drank and smoked weed because that's how I survived for a while. And then whatever else got thrown in, I would do as well. I loved pain pills. I loved Adderall. Adderall is what shifted me towards meth because I drank a lot, and I think that, so to your point about like the physical nature of it, I think that like I have the body of a true alcoholic. Like my body, I think, takes a lot longer to process alcohol, so it all stays in there longer. I'll be hungover for 3 days. Okay. So if I drink a lot, the next morning I'm going to do drugs. Now, all of my relapses have started with me drinking, waking up, feeling so shitty that I'm like, I'm going to go do drugs.
yeah. You to kill the pain,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
right? Kill the physical pain,
Right.
of being
Kill
hungover.
the drugs. And that's the same with the Adderall is like, I would be at work. I was working at a kitchen at that point, like 22, and come in so hungover that like, there's no way I'm frying fish today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Pick me up.
yeah. And so the waitresses had Adderall. And
Yeah.
so, and then eventually you realize that, and I was living in Arkansas at the time, going to school. and that place is just rife with meth. It's everywhere.
Yeah, go Hogs, man.
Did you guys win today?
When I have a family in Arkansas.
Okay.
I fuck with them all the time. I'm like, pig suey. That's
Yeah,
the stupidest thing I've
Dude,
ever fucking
okay.
heard in my life.
On a side note, people in Arkansas hate Texas.
Oh, dude.
And I have no idea why.
It's insane.
Like when I moved to Arkansas and they were like, "You're from Texas?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm from Texas." I'm a Longhorns fan. They're like, "Fuck you." And I was
great
like,
words
"It's
of Tom
crazy."
Segura. And the great words of Tom Segura. Arkansas is where all of our shit goes when we flush our toilets here in Texas.
It's perfect. I hope that they all hear it as well. I hope that we should start plastering those words on the bridges of Little Rock and let them all know.
Let them know.
Let them know.
Let them know. Texas is so much better than you.
Dude,
like,
it's-
Except
geez.
our Arkansas fans.
Yeah, except
we love
for
y'all.
people-
We do
are-
love y'all, but y'all are probably in Northwest Arkansas, which is gorgeous.
Yeah.
and a great place to
Arkansas
be.
is a pretty cool state. I
It is,
I go
yeah.
there to visit family and stuff. It's great. But
Yeah,
but they come here and they talk endless shit about like the Longhorns and the Aggies and
Well, if you think about it, that's like, is that the only sports team they have? in
yes,
Arkansas?
yeah. Wu
Like,
Pig
that's
Suey
what
is
they
like,
have.
Yeah.
it's their life.
Like fucking, like you have one thing. It's not. There's not a lot of options. So of course they're going to be diehard, absolute fucking Arkansas.
and they're going to be meth fans.
yeah,
They're
absolutely.
gonna be
Because it's their,
super big
it's
Mets
their
fans
one
as
thing.
well. It's like-
their
Yeah.
I should have moved to Arkansas during my addiction.
Yeah. So multiple stints in rehabs.
yeah. So
Right.
I've been to treatment 6 times,
Okay.
which is not a huge number. When I've talked to a lot of people, and 6 is like
It's
middle of the road.
the middle of the road.
Yeah.
We had someone was in here with 17 or 27.
Something like that. Yeah. We've had some people that have went in a lot.
Yeah.
And it always strikes me. They go in with the mentality that they're addicted to meth or heroin or whatever it is. And they're like, I'm not addicted to alcohol. Alcohol was never my thing. Like, so they get out and just like you, it's like they drink and it just kind of tail spins out again. You know, they lose sight that they are that type of personality that can't really
Especially
do
the
shit.
women that we've had on.
Especially
the women-
Like heroin addicts turned alcoholics.
Well,
after-
yeah, like when they're in treatment, they're talking about heroin or meth or whatever, and they're all about it. And then they get to alcohol and they're like, this isn't for me. I'm not an alcoholic. And then they get out and they stay sober for a minute. And some of them can go drink here and there, but then eventually it just fucking gets you
just
back
tail
into where
spins.
you're. Yeah.
Right. And I don't know if this is the forum to say this, but like there are people who, who have been like down in the dirt heroin addicts. I know one personally. And after like 6 years of sobriety, she started drinking normally, and she's been doing it for years now.
And I'm
And
almost 4 years from all drugs,
Yeah.
but I can still have a drink or two, and it doesn't affect me or anything.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
Now that's not the norm, and I wouldn't tell people like I always tell people find your own sober, right? If that means that you can't do shit, then you can't do anything. If that means you can do this and not ruin your life, I know that I can't put a drug in my body because I will not stop.
Right.
Once I get that feeling back, it's done. And once I get the feeling that I just ruined almost 4 years of no drugs, once that kicks in here, it's going to be like, well, why am I going to stop right now? Now I'm just going to go all the way back out.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I'm going to go enjoy this relapse for a while. So
That's the strange thing though, is back to your question of what my drug of choice is. I like to say drug of no choice, but when I relapsed, so me and Stu met. We met. I had been sober for 3 years. I relapsed on meth in Arkansas. I went to see a buddy to go backpacking in like the Ouachita National Forest, and dude, like a survivalist buddy who had just like shotguns on every couch. And,
Oh, yeah.
And I walk in and he's
Sounds like Arkansas, dude.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
this perfect Arkansas storm. The only caveat is he has a master's in psychology and is like a therapist. But
Wow.
then, right, and
That's
but
a
then
dangerous dude to be sitting on a couch with, bro. Like,
he literally shot himself in the leg. He's literally shot. I took a Glock from him because he shot himself in the leg with it. I was like, you know what? I do need a pistol. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take this back with me.
Yeah.
But I got there and like nothing was prepared for this trek through the woods that we're supposed to go on, and I'm just sitting there waiting on him to get off work, and I'm like, fuck, there's like meth on the counter, and you know, I'm just kind of like, and at that point I was in a place where I guess like I'd stopped doing a lot of things that had helped me to like have successful sobriety. So I was in a very susceptible state,
right?
And you know, I'm with a friend. I could do this, and literally no one will ever know. But so I relapsed on meth that weekend, and when I came back, I didn't like immediately seek out meth specifically. I ended up trying kratom because I had heard about that, so I tried kratom.
And you're told it helps.
Right.
Like that's people think like people getting off of drugs. They fucking
as
like,
far as kratom goes?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
yeah,
like, I
yeah.
can just hammer down a bunch of over the counter shit at the convenience store and I've never done it. I don't want to do it, but I've just heard the way it makes people feel.
Well, yeah, and it's gone from in just like the last 5 years, I think it's gone from, you know, it'll be like bags of powder that you kind of capsule up yourself, or you can buy capsules, to now there's like tinctures, and now there's these like 7-OH things that are like just like hyper concentrated, and people are like getting really thrown off on those. But I remember I told Stu maybe like 3 days after we met that I was there for kratom, and he started laughing at me. I was like, motherfucker.
I was like, you pussy.
Yeah, 100%. Like I had to like bring some.
So what happened?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
When he came in, they're like, this guy's really fucked off. Like
Yeah.
he's sick. Like this is so. When you're in rehab, we look forward to going to outside meetings.
Yeah.
That means you get out of the house.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But if someone comes in sick and they're not able to go to the meetings, they don't just leave that person and leave someone with them. That means the whole house can't go.
Mm-hmm.
So for the first 2 days, we don't go nowhere because he's fucking sick, right?
Right.
And then I found out he's on kratom. I was like, oh, fuck this. This motherfucker's getting up and he's going to meetings. So I had to go in his room and say, hey, bro, I know you don't feel good, but you're keeping us from going to meetings.
And you're
So
just on
we,
kratom.
We didn't like each other at the beginning.
He was telling me that.
Yeah, we
I
didn't
know.
like each other.
And this motherfucker was up at 6 a.m. just being himself in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
You know, while I'm detoxing.
Yeah.
Trying to sleep.
Being himself in the morning. He's up at 6.
Just being himself in the kitchen.
The guy.
Yeah. He used more than 7-letter words. I didn't like that. You've already used like 3 words that now that I don't even know what the fuck you were saying. I got to go dictionary them in a little bit. And then he read books.
Yeah.
He's like, this dude is
This is
too
my least
smart for
favorite
me.
person
He's too smart.
ever.
He fucking uses big words that I don't understand. And then he reads books. It took me all rehab to read the
well-read.
David Goggins book. And he read like 15 books in that fucking time.
Yeah.
So anyway.
The David Goggins book that I like refused to read. I was like, the guy's an idiot.
Yeah, I kept telling him, read this one when it became cool. Read this one. No, I don't want to read that.
Have you ever read it?
I did. I read it, didn't I?
Yeah, you read
because
it.
I know that he runs around with broken ankles and shits on himself
Yeah.
while he's running 100 miles. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
I mean, when you say it like that, he does sound like an idiot.
right. I mean, that's all I got. Like, of course, I'm impressed
Yeah.
that you
dude,
made
I mean,
it. But
that dude's, he's a fucking animal. That's that's not a guy that you, it's so hard to even fathom, like trying to attain that kind of mindset.
But it then also, to me, it seems like some sort of like compulsory, like addictive response to what he's doing. That's some waters I really don't want to wade into, but it does seem like
it does a little bit. So I would say that I would all the way agree with you in that, except for when you hear him talk sometimes. He's like, dude, he's like, man, sometimes I stare at my fucking shoes for like 45 minutes. Like, I don't want to put them motherfuckers on. He's like, I'm having the fight with myself to just go and do what I know I need to go do. So he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't fucking
He's got
want
that same person on his shoulder telling him, don't fucking do it, you pussy.
Yeah, he has the
not
same
today.
exact.
Not today.
reason.
He has the same exact thing happening. Difference is after he puts his shoes on, he goes and runs fucking 100 miles and shits on himself.
and breaks
and breaks his feet
with like
and
shin splints and No, I am impressed. It's obviously just jealousy because I take a nap at the earliest possible convenience.
It's like gym beefs. When I see someone bigger than me in the gym, I'm like, fuck that guy. I'll beat the shit out of him right now. They're normally the best people in there. They're the nicest people in there. I want to ask you, when you relapse in Arkansas, or any of your relapse, did you have the thought of, were you already preparing your relapse? Does that make sense?
Okay, so the one in Arkansas, absolutely.
Yeah, so you was already thinking days in advance? Like, man,
not for the meth. Like my plan was, I was like, I'm gonna go up there. We're gonna be in in the forest, in the mountains, backpacking. And I'm like, get us some acid, dude. Like get us some acid. Like
I need some mushrooms.
Yeah, we can do some acid. And I can't do mushrooms. I'll like lock myself in the back of my head. It gets really bad. Like I swear to God, the first time I took mushrooms, we got like.
That's an interesting way of putting that,
dude. Seriously, I almost thought myself out of existence. Like the fabric of reality was like getting shaky. We were eating like shrooms from horse shit or cow shit, and like I almost didn't come back. So I avoid them. But that being said, like if I'm in active addiction and someone comes and hands me some shrooms, I'll probably eat them.
Yeah.
Right. Knowing how many times I've been
the worst
burned.
thing that I could possibly do.
But so I told him, I was like, get us some acid. Like, let's do acid together. I'm not sure if we had ever actually, I've only, done it a few times, but in small towns, growing up, like acid is like a mythical substance because it's just not there. Not where I grew up, at least. And the same for us when we were in Arkansas. It was a little town called Arkadelphia. And you just couldn't, I lived in Arkadelphia for like 5 years.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, dude. And so I was like, get us some acid. And at that point, I had already opened up myself to the possibility of like anything. So when I realized,
you already kind of justified a relapse.
Yeah. And then I think the first thing I was like, all right, man, give me one of those beers. And then it started raining, and so we're not going backpacking because it's like a torrential downpour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, man, give me one of those Adderall.
Yeah.
And then, hey, man, just throw some lines out.
Yeah.
So it was like, I wasn't like, I'm going to go up there and do meth. But I was like, I'm going to be away. And I was like living with sober people doing like serious recovery. And I was just kind of in the background flailing at that time. So I was like, I can get away with it. So
you wasn't working a program or anything like that?
No, I wasn't I wasn't working a program.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
So on your relapse, another question. When you're working a program and you're spiritually, mentally, whatever, you're in a good place, relapse doesn't even cross your mind. Am I right? Maybe here and there, but you're able to shut it off.
Right? Here and there.
But whenever you tail off of a program, because I know when you get in a program, you work it hard as fuck. That was one thing that I was drawn to you in rehab, because you knew the shit. It wasn't like you knew the shit like you should be teaching it, right? And so what I'm asking is, when you're in your program, you're probably in a good place. It's whenever, do you feel yourself falling away from your program whenever you go in your relapse, or is it all just boom?
I've had mixed experiences because I've had, previously I would have told you that once I have that, like a real thought to drink or do drugs, it's over.
Right.
Previously I would have told you that because that's what my experience has shown. When I was sober for 3 years, I never had the real thought, and then once I did it, But recently, in March, actually, I was at a detox talking to guys about sobriety, and a guy came up to me, and he was like, I really relate to you in that kratom thing because I've been taking these 7-OHs. And this is the first time I had heard that these are even a thing. And he's like, they're 50 times stronger than morphine. And something in the back of my head went, whoa. Like you say 50 times stronger. And I dealt with an obsession over this for a few days, which was the first time that I think that I ever experienced like real obsessive thoughts over using that I didn't use. But every other time, it's just been kind of like a spur of the moment thing. Like, it's like there I was minding my own business.
Yeah.
And there I was.
There I was. The time that, the relapse after we met, I had 10 months sober. And I was living with a guy who was like actively using in the middle of a relapse. And me and my roommates had tried to talk to him about it multiple times. And we'd finally found proof. We found like a hydrocodone laying on the ground. And I looked at my roommate. I was like, we're going to set him up. Here's what we're going to do. I was like, because he found it, brought it to me. And I was like, okay, here's what you do. You take it, you put it right on top of his bathroom sink. And then we'll come back here in like 2 or 3 hours. If it's gone, we're going to like talk to him about it. It's like, hey, we know this hydro was there. We know you're fucked up. Like, we need to talk about it because, he was eventually he overdosed multiple times before he got sober again. So it was like a serious issue. But the guy goes and puts the pill on top of the counter. And like 3 minutes after he walks out, I walk in and snort it.
Okay.
I'm gonna blame it on the other fucking guy.
Yeah.
Did you blame it on the other guy?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, it's gone. It's gone. I told him about it like a week later. I was like, oh, that was me.
Did you have any intentions of doing that? Or was it just...
That's the question.
Yeah.
That's really the question. I don't know.
Yeah. Like,
I mean,
moment, it was like, we're going to set this guy up, but once you had the opportunity...
Because the guy's like a threat to die on us. He's a heroin addict. And
You're like, I've got to help him.
Yeah, I have to help him out. I've got to help him. Either I catch him doing this drug or I'm going to have to do this drug for him. Like, whichever one. Like, he's...
Saving his life either way.
In need. I'm just trying to be of service here whenever I can. But the same guy, I eventually... at one point, I had to take his doorknob off and rush in and like get him out of the tub.
Oh man, that's terrible.
So it was a serious situation that I took advantage of.
I just picture like I can almost see it like a cartoon, like this scene, right? And I just hear the Foo Fighters' "My Hero" starting to play as you just bang this fucking oxycodone down. Here goes my hero.
Absolutely. And it was, after that, it started, and I was out for
The card.
2.5, 3 years before I really went back into recovery. So
Man.
from sober for 3 years, just shy of 3 years. I was drinking, taking kratom for a couple months. Went and met Stu at Solstice. Was sober for about 10 months. Hydro off the sink, and then kratom and alcohol and alcohol and a little bit of kratom, and like managing for 2.5 years before.
So you seem to be maybe one of the more impulsive. Like, that's a pretty fucking impulsive fucking story. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
like
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, how do you manage that? Because it seems like you're on a dime. Like, how are you successful in fighting that impulsion now?
The short answer is that I don't have to for some reason. For some reason, that impulsion doesn't happen. And when it does, there's no real fight to it. It's like I've been put in a position to where the notion of going and taking a drink or, buying the kratom or whatever it would look like, that notion is like so absurd to me that it's like it gets laughed off, except for that week-long period that I was obsessing about these 7-OH things. Other than that, the thought of drinking is like, it's just absurd.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's been absurd.
Yeah.
But for some reason, by the grace of God, I've been put in a position where when I realize how absurd it is, like
You don't even entertain it.
right. I don't even entertain.
It
the
sounds
thought.
like you're working a program, like a pretty strong program.
Yeah, I absolutely. I work with other guys. I go talk to people at treatment centers, at a detox center. I'm actively talk with other people about the issues and problems of my life, which is huge. By the way, I'm someone that never let other people in.
Yeah.
Especially real time. Like I never thought to like run my thoughts and fears and selfish behavior and things by someone. I thought that I could just like, decipher that, this is unhealthy or this is an unmanageable behavior. But now I run every dumbass thing by somebody.
Okay.
I have a few very core people that I'll talk to about everything. And that's one of the biggest things for me is like when I struggle, I don't do it alone anymore. And all of my struggles and internal conflict used to be between me and myself, and now it's between me and others. And that's the biggest way that like God shows up for me, because I'm someone who at one point I like convinced myself that I had Asperger's, because I felt that I was so socially inept and like socially awkward, and like I didn't feel like I could connect to people. And I was like, there's some kind of barrier between me and other people. So to be in a position to where I can speak to other people about anything that's going on in my life is the biggest blessing. I think it's the thing that helps me, the most, not to suffer alone or to struggle alone.
Yeah.
That's really cool, dude.
It's kind of like what Stephen Sheehan said.
Yeah.
Is, whenever he was able to, all the battles, when he was able to put all the ribbons on his chest and show people, like all the medals that I have from this and this and this, he said was the best thing that's ever happened to me, because now I'm not hiding trauma or I'm not hiding this. And I'm actually to tell look, I have a medal for that. I've been through that too. And he said it's kind of like how you take everything that you went through and you put it on your chest, and there's no more hiding. There's no more shame about it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And that guy, I've seen that guy around, and he absolutely wears it on his chest.
Yeah.
And it I mean, we're told that we're in a unique position to help other people because of our experiences.
Right.
And the more that I discover that that's true, the more grateful I become for my past, which is something that used to, when I heard people say like I'm a grateful alcoholic or I'm a grateful addict, in the back of my head I'm like, oh, fuck off, like you're full of shit. There's no way. And I'm starting to like have a taste of that and to understand kind of what that means,
What that means.
Yeah. And it's pretty cool.
Well, you can also start being of service about anything.
Right, immediately.
Not just sobriety either. Like I feel like I've taken that whole be of service to others and pay it forward. I've taken that not just in sobriety now, but I just do it in life in general. If somebody at work's going through something, be there for them, be of service to them. Or like if somebody needs something, if I can help them, I'll definitely help them. And that's something I learned from the rooms is just being of service to each other. Because I feel like the reason God put us here is so we can go through things together and we can help each other rise from them. I think that's like one of the biggest things that we're not supposed to do this alone.
No, absolutely. And carrying principled living to every aspect of my life.
Yeah.
I think is what you're saying. And I think it's so huge. I think people put barriers in the way that they act. It's like, am I around people in recovery, or am I in a recovery function, or around people who understand addiction and things, or am I around my family, or am I at work, or am I just, checking out at Target? I remember once I was at a meeting, and this woman had had her son there, and this guy was sharing in the meeting, and it was like, it was a fire share. That's what and it was just, it turned out that it was all bullshit, because after the meeting, the guy's walking out and the kid steps on his shoes, and I guess they're nice Jordans or some shit, and he explodes on this little 9-year-old kid. And to think you don't get to turn it off. And in my experience, I don't want to turn it off. I want to figure out how to live a life where I can be of more benefit to others than myself. at some point, and pretty quickly, like if you really look at the whole thing, it pretty quickly recovery stops being about drugs and alcohol. It starts being about myself, and it starts being about me determining a better way to live life, and a life that's like based on true value and value through others and value through helping people and being of service and being there when people call. And that's obviously, you know, that's the biggest blessing to me, but it's also what I forget probably, you know, quicker than anything else. The only way that the success and sobriety that I have will continue is if I like continue to think about every aspect of my life as an area where I can grow and learn and be more helpful, you know, give more to people, like give more back to the world than what I take from it. It's like I had to like start thinking about life differently. And I think that it's essential. And if I put barriers up between my recovery world and the outside world, my recovery world and my relationships, my family, if there's barriers or if there's any kind of incongruity between the way that I act and the way that I show up, there has to be some kind of selfish motion. At the bottom of that, there has to be some kind of selfishness or self-centeredness that I just can't have. Like I have to try to grow in every area and avenue.
Yeah.
Side note, have you guys watched the Charlie Sheen thing?
I haven't yet.
Have you?
I have not. I watched him on Joe Rogan.
You need to watch that documentary. I mean, he has the badges on the outside. I mean, you talk about some of the things that guy was hiding for years, you know, HIV.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, he admits to starting to have sex with men, and like the documenter, the guy who was running it asked him, he's like, how does that feel to like admit all of that right now? He's like, it's fucking liberating. Like you see it in his face too. Like it really was to him, like just it's all out there now. Like he was being blackmailed by people.
Oh, who had all this information?
Well, he was sleeping with women or men, I don't know, but he said that they were taking pictures of his medication in the bathroom, and it's only for HIV. Like it's the only, that's all it's used for. And he would have to pay them so they wouldn't tell or show or any of that shit. And so that kind of, I mean, you talk about a guy who
been around,
burned the candle hard at both ends and coming through on the other end of it. And there's even a point at the end of it where he, the mother of one of his children that's older, she was still in the fight and he was helping her. Now they had a really fractured relationship, obviously.
Oh, I'm sure that Charlie
Sheen was, they were hugging each other at the end of it and stuff.
Was it Denise Richards or wasn't he with?
He was with Denise Richards.
He was with, wasn't he with the porn star that he had a baby with? Was it her?
Maybe.
I
didn't really.
Not that I have anything against porn stars. I love you all.
Yeah, I didn't really pay any attention to that other than it was one of the mother of his children that was going through some shit.
And he came back and was service to her.
Started to help her out, and how good that was feeling to get everybody back on the same page. Now his house has become a hub kind of for everybody, his kids and everything else. Super cool.
Yeah.
You should watch it. It's pretty neat.
Charlie, we'll take you on anytime you want to come on the podcast.
Yeah, dude.
Just wow.
I'll be here too, Charlie.
Yeah.
Since I'm here, as they brought it up, we'll get another chair.
Yeah.
I've wondered, you know, I've thought about that, trying to get sober, like as someone like that famous or that
dude,
like because
you got to think the opportunity,
right? The opportunity is
like, and not only that, like everywhere you go, like I always joke with Moron about me being famous, right? I'm not fucking famous, but like when people recognize me out, it's like it's awesome, right? But I couldn't imagine like everywhere that I go, people running up and doing this and doing this and doing this. And then like, what do you do for fun? Like I've always said, like when you have so much money, what do you do to really make yourself happy? I mean, you can buy anything, right?
You just rent out Six Flags.
Yeah, you
Rent the whole thing out.
whole
Apparently,
fucking
that's
thing.
what that was my.
There's bars at Six Flags.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, if you've rented the whole park, you close them bitches down.
you close
For
it
the
all
day.
down. But yeah, it's got to be, you know. And to his point, I watched a podcast one time where this was a basketball player, Michael Porter
Yeah.
Jr. He was on a podcast and he was talking about how when people start, he's been to parties with people that are famous, money, and like it's not just the different drugs that they're doing. They're bringing in men, they're bringing in women, they're bringing in they're sleeping with everybody, right? And it's because the bar is so high of what they can't get, like they can pretty much get anything they want.
Right, anything they want.
So like it's like when you watch porn, right? You watch maybe a little lesbian porn, and then it's threesomes, and then it's 10 girls in one, and then all of a sudden regular sex doesn't even sound fun. Where's the 10 girls at, right? And that's how it kind of progresses from there. Is these celebrities a lot of times they do so many drugs, and then how much is enough? How much is enough? And the same with sex. How much? I mean, look at should I talk about the Diddy parties? That's a prime example, right?
Well, and the celebrity and like the adulation and the love and being recognized from other people isn't itself like an intoxicant. So I feel like
it's probably like a drug,
right?
Sure.
Exactly. Like you're already on the brink of being high off of just fucking, like you said, getting recognized in the street. And then there's always some asshole who's like, I want to do coke with Charlie Sheen.
Well, right.
You know,
there's got to be a lot of that.
I don't care how long he's been sober. Like, I want to do coke with
But there's
Charlie
also
Sheen.
got to be the next level of that, where it's like he was almost rewarded for being the fucking playboy or the coke guy.
Right,
He they still kept force feeding him roles. And
Yeah, I mean, they
biggest movies of fucking all time and shit. Like he's still
Wasn't he the highest paid on a sitcom
when he was
Yeah.
doing 2.5 Men.
When he was
doing-
Yeah, but that role was like Charlie Sheen if he had a brother and a young nephew. It was like just, hey, go out there and be yourself.
They talk about that in the documentary. Like the guy who I forget his name, but the guy who is like in charge of all sitcoms that you've ever known or seen, Norman Lear, I guess that's his name. He said that when they had the concept for that show, they pitched it and they said, yeah, we have this brother who kind of stumbles and can't get life right with a kid. And then we have a Charlie Sheen character. Like that's literally how he pitched
That's
the
how
show.
he pitched it.
And then the people, the studio or whatever was like, well, can you get Charlie Sheen? And
He's not doing
yeah,
anything,
he
is
was
he?
like, yeah.
He's a,
Yeah, so that's literally how he got the show. He was like, we have this Charlie Sheen type guy that can do no wrong. And he was like,
yeah, get
well,
Charlie Sheen.
yeah, go get him to do it. So it's pretty fucking
Yeah,
wild.
I definitely want to check this documentary
The
out.
reward of being who he was in all of the chaos has got to be really hard too. Like I can literally do whatever the fuck I want.
winning.
Yeah, and get rewarded by being the highest sitcom guy of all time.
Well, and he must have gotten to a point, I would imagine, when everything was like crumbling and falling away, where it's like it's so public and everyone knows. And like he couldn't walk down the street with someone like, not yelling tiger blood at him or whatever it was. Like in my mind, I'm
Winning and
in my mind, I think that it would be so hard for me to give a shit. Like if I had enough money to continue to burn it down, it would be so difficult for me not to just burn it down.
right.
Yeah.
If I was in Charlie Sheen's shoes.
Right.
I've always said that if I had enough, like if I'm lucky that I've always been in the socioeconomic class that I've been in, because if I had more money, I'd be dead.
Right.
I firmly believe that. I mean, if I grew up in an area where heroin was the main
Thing.
yeah, I would definitely be dead because I'm not a good drug addict. Like I'm pretty bad at it.
Yeah.
To be honest. Seriously, I'm really not good at it. If I grew up around heroin, I don't think I'd be here. It just wouldn't have. I would have just overdid it so fast.
See, where I'm from, heroin wasn't a thing at all. Like
There's no heroin in Vidor?
No, well, there may be now, but when I was 21, when I moved here, no, there was like meth, there was ecstasy, there was acid, there was mushrooms. There's a lot of farms over there, but there's cocaine, but heroin. I never even knew what heroin looked like until I moved here, and then I seen like the black tar heroin.
Yeah.
And then I found out that you can smoke that, and then you can inject and snort. I didn't even know you could snort it. I was so dumb on heroin, but heroin was something like my mom used to talk about, like from the 60s and 70s. You know, it's like that was nothing that I ever seen until I came here. And when I got here, like heroin was not the biggest thing, but it was definitely big. You know.
Yeah, I had like minimal exposure when I went to treatment the first time, because I'm from a small town, Northeast Texas. I went to school in a small town in Arkansas. Like I think it's a rural thing, like
The bigger cities.
Right. Heroin's like a kind of a bigger city thing. Like pain pills and things have decimated rural populations.
Yeah.
But in my area, at least, I'm probably speaking in too generalized terms, but in my area, at least, heroin wasn't. I had some friends that eventually started to go to Dallas to get black tar heroin.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some heroin addicts out there that listen to this and think this guy's a fucking moron. But what my friends did when I was 23 and we got this, they would get the tar and dilute it with water. Should I explain this? Anyway, they basically mixed it with crushed up.
We're not condoning it.
We're not condoning this at all, but they basically mixed it with crushed up acetaminophen, and that's what we were snorting. It was like Tylenol and heroin.
Yucky.
Really?
Yeah.
Just in case you got a headache.
Yeah.
I got to take care of the headache.
I just kind of walked into this whole circumstance one day, and then 3 weeks later, I was going to treatment. There wasn't. But then when I went to treatment, I came to Austin afterwards to go to sober living. This is 2012, and I got a real lesson in what drug use could look like by listening to people. And there was still a part of me in the back of my mind that was like, I want to try that.
Yeah.
I'd done some IV drugs. Even before I got out of high school, I had done some IV drugs, but never to any real extent.
That was one thing I never got into. That scared me.
Yeah.
It's I remember when I used to see people do heroin, I would be like, I'm smoking meth and doing hot rails, and I'm like, oh my God, they're over there doing heroin? It's terrible. They're junkies.
Right.
Or when someone would take shots of meth and inject it. I remember the first time someone asked me to give them a shot in their neck. I was like, of what? And he was like, meth. And he was fucking getting it all ready for it, and I was thinking, God damn, this guy's got a problem. And I'm doing an 8 ball of meth a day, but I'm doing it the gentleman way.
Yeah,
right?
the right
Damn, this
way.
guy's got a problem. He's not going to make it. That's what I'm thinking. And he says, "You're asking me to shoot you in the neck? Yeah, I'll do it. I don't put." But yeah, it's so funny whenever I think about it now, because I was so judgmental. If someone was doing heroin, shooting heroin, or shooting meth, I was like, "Oh my God, they've got a problem."
Yeah,
there's some real problems here for this person.
Right, this is a serious issue.
Not looking at myself here I am smoking a bowl
he's just
while
over
I'm
there
thinking,
rolling
man, he's got a
as he's
terrible problem.
talking.
Yeah, it's funny. When at all the rehabs that you went to, do you think that, because this would be everybody's answer to this would be different. Do you think that you learned stuff at each one that you picked up all the way through, and it made or do you think sometimes it was fuck, I didn't learn nothing there, or because sometimes people say, even though I've been to 10 rehabs, I don't feel like any of them was a waste, because I picked up a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there.
Right, is it like an accumulative thing? I mean, yeah.
You think so?
Obviously, yeah. I think the answer to that is yes. The thing that when I went to treatment this time is that I had to pretend like I didn't know shit, because the accumulative knowledge that I had gathered I'd been drunk for the last 2 years or and then eventually at the very end, back on cocaine really pretty severely. So obviously I still know the things that I've learned.
Right.
And there is some kind of accumulation of knowledge, and experience. I think there's just some shit that you have to let go of. And I think that I think sometimes it's like too much knowledge or the presumption that I have a certain amount of knowledge can be dangerous. So when I went through this time, I tried to
break it down to the bare metal.
Right. Break it down to the bare metal.
That makes sense.
Feign ignorance. Like you tell me what to do, I'll do it. I'm not going to question it. And then let's go from there, because the things that I thought I knew were probably going to get me killed. And it's funny. When I was in there, they took me to a meeting maybe like a month in, and a good friend of mine who actually was my very first sponsor, and I saw him at a meeting, and he had just gotten out of a treatment center that he was in for like 2 months. And we were at this meeting on a Saturday morning, and I shared something, it was like a newcomer meeting. I shared something because I have a knowledge base. You said I should be teaching this shit, which made me stop learning. But I had shared something, and my friend looked over at me, and this is someone who's been in and out a lot. And when he was on, he helped a lot of people, and he really knew his shit, and he did a lot of good for people. And then he would just have these catastrophic, failures and falling off. And I shared, and he like joked with me. He was like, you know way too much. You're fucked. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, if I'm fucked, like you're so screwed, because 3 times as much as I do. And literally a month later, I found out he was dead.
Damn.
So there is an extent where the knowledge is cumulative, but I have to always be searching for a different perspective on what I know and what I think, and be willing to
be coachable.
Yeah, to be teachable. Yeah, to admit that maybe I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. Like I was wrong about you. Yeah, and now I love you.
I know.
Oh,
I love you too.
And I've been wrong about a lot of things, and the more apt I am to admit error or to open myself up to different interpretation, like the better off I am. Yeah. So no matter how much I know. You always have to be teachable.
Yeah, Rogan says it a lot, and it's something that kind of changed the way that I think. But it's like, you don't be married to anything that you think. Right. Don't be married to it. Like, always be open to listen to the contradiction of it, because you might be able to pull something out of it, and it might change the way that you think about that thing, and that's okay. It's not a problem. It's not an issue to do that. So, I mean, I think for what it's worth, me being the moron here, man, it sounds like you're well on your way. Like,
God, I fucking hope so.
Yeah, dude.
I really hope so. Yeah.
So I want to talk to you about Solstice.
Okay.
Because you were there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See the smile we get from Solstice?
Dude, when Cole was sitting there and we had Cole in here, he would bring up names. And you would just see him like just light the fuck up.
It was insane how many people he remembered.
Dude, I bet he remembered like every person that went through that place.
He probably does.
He probably does.
He probably does. He went through his Rolodex there, like in his mind. And he would just like light up, dude. You could just see it in him, like where it was. And I know how special that was and how grateful I am for that place just because of who I have here. And I know that you were there at that time. I want to hear you talk about that spot a little bit.
So I had worked at a treatment center for like a year and a half, and I had been to treatment 3 times. Solstice was my 4th time in treatment. So I have a lot of preconceived notions about what treatment is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And what real recovery looks like. And then as I'm going to to Solstice, my sponsor at the time, who had got me in there, was like, listen, buddy, this place is a little different.
Yeah.
A little different. And I get there and I'm just like, the fucking, is this the blind leading the blind here? This is either this is either the smartest, like greatest thing ever, or this is gonna be a disaster.
Right.
And it was one of the greatest things ever, because they allowed you, I think they allowed us to find a path of recovery without restraining us. And the only real restraints that we had, or constraints on personality, or the way that we like spoke to each other and reacted to things, the only like real restraints and constraints was that we were in this building together and didn't have phones.
Right.
Other than that, there was no real time like behavior modification or accountability. It's like, you guys, you're brothers now.
Yeah.
Figure this shit out.
Yeah.
And we'll give you some guidelines.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time we went to see a movie, they're like, all right, we're stopping at Buc-ee's. Everyone's got $7 and you're going to have to sneak this shit into the movie. And I'm like, what? I was like, what are we doing? Like, this is insane. You're all right. So, and I was like, rigorous honesty. This doesn't seem right. But it's like, it was just, man.
It was a rehab like no other.
Yeah, like no other.
Yeah.
I mean, that couple of people there. Have you had Johnny on?
No. So we need to get Johnny on. Johnny's he's one of the only people that when I talk to him, I'm intimidated to talk to him because he's so fucking smart.
Right, but he's
Like-
also like maniacally intelligent too.
Yes,
he's
he's just too intelligent for me, and it makes me uncomfortable. Right, because I'm not the smartest person out there by any means. 7-letter words and less, and that's where I stay. But Johnny, like when he was my sponsor, he would tell me shit, and I'd be like, I don't even know what the fuck you just said.
Yeah.
Like, you have to dumb that down for me because I have no clue what you're even talking about right now. But no, he was at Seth's funeral. We both spoke, and he spoke amazing. Johnny, we need to get Johnny on here, and I know he'll come on.
If there's anything I know about Two Addicts and a Moron, we're not really smart. All right, like, when we had smart people over there in that chair, we're just like, huh? We're like,
Yeah.
How many of these books have been read?
None.
None of them have like a crease.
I've
to
read
them.
the David Goggins.
Yeah, that's the David Goggins book.
I've
That
done
is the-
anybody who sat on that couch that wrote a book, I read it.
Yeah.
And I've read the Goggins.
hell yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple on there that Stu's had in there to make us look smart. But we're not. Like, I honestly thought about like putting in like fucking Shakespeare or something. Like,
just
like
throw
just
some-
throw
The
throw
some
some
Crooked
shit in
Smile
there.
is one that you should definitely read.
dude. That Crooked Smile is
Crooked Smile.
fucking insane,
Yeah.
dude. Like, that's an insane.
What's the place in LA that he lived?
He lived in
The homeless place in LA that's
Skid Row.
Skid Row.
He
Yeah,
lived
he
in Skid
lived
Row
there.
for 2 years.
Skid
Dude.
Row. I
So
love it when
Rogan
people-
and them talked about that book. What's the other guy's name? The comedian that always does Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis on
Shane
his
Gillis
podcast.
and Matt
They
McCusker.
talked about that book.
He talked about the.
Yeah,
And how
Matt
great-
McCusker. They had him on. They had
Yeah.
him on their podcast.
Yeah.
It was. You talk about the wild of wild, like
His
story.
stories are great. Go watch
And-
back and watch his podcast. It's
and
Gerald
ha-
Kleinstein.
and how
Kleinstein.
smart,
Yeah, super
just
smart.
fucking intelligent like that. Like, I actually got like a lot of not a lot, but criticism during that episode because of how smart he was. Like, they were like, man, he got you a couple times.
Yeah,
like,
you couldn't keep up with him.
Yeah,
Right.
it was really tough on his intelligence level.
Our supervisor called us and said, y'all need to get that dude a job with us. Because he's so, like, for being an addict and still knowing things about the world and economy and everything that's going on, it was insane. His knowledge was stupid. It really was. I was just sitting here. I didn't ask no questions. Like, get him.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
yeah, yeah. I'm like, so drugs, they're bad, right? He's like, well, yeah, dude. I mean, like, I ate my face off and cut a toe off. Like, he did those things. Like, he ate half of his face, like in a blackout, and
Jesus.
and removed a
did
bone
he
from
cook-
his toe.
Did he saute it? Like, how did
He sawed off a bone out of his toe.
Like, no, removed the bone. Like the
so
toe,
like the toe is still there.
but the bone was out of it, and it took the doctors a minute to figure out what the fuck, because the toe's there, and it took him a couple of days to like be like, it doesn't look great.
Yeah,
Something is amiss here.
Something's missing. Though. There you go.
So here's a good story. I think I've told you before. So at Solstice, when they would bring us to Buc-ee's and give us our $7 allowance, $7 isn't much.
No, it's not.
So every time I went in there, I stole about $30 worth of shit, and I would come back. So we're supposed to run an honest program in there, but I was like, this is going to be my one fault. So I would steal about $30 in candy, or I would always get my daughter a little doll out of there, right? And then when Brody picked me up from rehab,
You stopped at Buc-ee's.
I had to tell him, like, all right, it's about time I start making these financial amends. I said, you have $150 on you? He's like, yeah, why? So we got to stop at Buc-ee's. So I walked in and I gave the cashier some money. And she's like, well, where's your items? I said, I've been stealing from y'all for a good month now.
Weekly for a month, I've taken whatever I wanted.
Every Friday I was in here stealing from y'all. It's about $120. Here it is. I apologize.
I was going to ask you if you had made that amends. You did it immediately with someone else's money.
yeah.
No money.
What a sweetheart.
I know.
Yeah.
That is actually, I remember when you called me about an amends. One of the, I don't remember who it was that you were doing an amends to. You called me to kind of,
I
run
called you
it by
before
me.
it. Yeah,
you
with
called
my
me
ex-wife,
beforehand.
with my daughter's mom.
Yeah.
I called you and kind
Well,
of
that was a big one.
That was a big
You
one.
really thought
I
something.
called
You thought highly of me.
Yeah, I called you
you-
and I what? Like, you're one of the smartest people that I know. Like, and I'm not just saying that because on this podcast. That's why I didn't like you. That's one of the reasons I was like, this guy's too smart for me. I don't like you. But as I got to know you, I was like, he's actually a fucking cool dude. And that whole judgmental character defect that we all have.
Glaring. Mine's glaring as well because I did the same.
I think it's
Same to you.
everybody's.
Yeah.
I would argue that that's probably a character defect of every human being out there.
Very few people can say
just
like,
be like, I just don't judge anyone.
I used to, in my addiction, I used to tell people, I'm the most non-judgmental person you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
And fucking, I am judging you right now.
Shit.
I'm judging the heroin addict over there because I'm doing
Right,
meth,
because
and you're
doing
way
meth
worse
and
than
they're
me.
doing heroin.
Yeah.
Smoking your rent. You're just wasting it. Just
That's
over
what
there
my
in the
buddy told me.
corners.
He's like, so the people that were smoking it, they were wasting it, right? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I thought they looked like they were getting high to me. No, you got to shoot that shit. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So, what does sobriety look like for you now?
Just
what's
like
life like?
What's life like? So I work a few days a week at a treatment center that handles mental and emotional health issues primarily, and then there's some substance abuse thrown on, and I'm a tech, and I help those people get whatever they need and stay comfortable and do things. And then I hit a few meetings. I at a sober living that I help to manage. It's like an apartment complex where the guys from the treatment center that I went through, they get out, they come to this apartment complex. I manage it. I do odd jobs. I'm a handyman. I do different odd jobs, and I feel the amount of like the freedom I have in my day to day for now is I've really been able to like sit and kind of get comfortable with myself again and get comfortable with other people in different environments. And so I haven't technically even had a full-time job yet since I got out of treatment. I
Sounds
just
like
been
you
doing-
do. I mean,
Well, yeah, I've got so much going on that I'm definitely busy, but I haven't had to like, go back in. Before I went into treatment, I was a superintendent for a company called ServPro, like fixing flood and fire damage. So I was in Florida for 6 months last year trying to fix some flood damage from a hurricane. And
Florida's a wild place.
it's insane. Yeah. It's you Floridians out there are a different breed.
Yeah, it's.
And I thought like, I lived in Arkansas, I lived in Texas. I've seen some rednecks, but
Florida's a different place, man.
Florida's different, but I haven't had to. Eventually I'll get myself a real full-time big boy job again. But for now, I have a little bit of freedom. I get to, go where I want and talk to the people that I want to and try to help. And it's pretty fulfilling. When people call me, I answer. When they need me to show up, I show up. Like the real basics of life are handled, and that's such a blessing that like I know eventually my life will continue to expand and get bigger, and that new opportunities will come along, and I'll take them as they come. But for now, I'm very satisfied with where I'm at and what I get to do on a daily basis.
So all that's great. Mm-hmm. What do you do for fun, dude?
What do I do for fun? So
this is I should ask this question more because I think it's important for people to know that they can live a fulfilling life. All the things that you just said.
Oh, so last week I saw Coheed and Cambria live. I saw the Pixies the week before. I've been going to a lot of concerts. I'm flying to Vegas on October 4th to watch Paul McCartney with my big sister.
Nice.
I've been trying to catch up on music. I read a lot, which is like, that is my relaxation. I go to the gym a lot. I was playing pickleball with you a couple weekends ago. I play softball.
A little volleyball.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like, I find enjoyment in I can find enjoyment in anything that I'm doing.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Is like, as I don't have to feel like I'm going out to do some kind of special activity for things to be fun. I know that for those of you out there looking for the answer to that question of like, what do you do when you're sober? That seems like a cop out, but it's really not.
Yeah.
I find more fulfillment, I think, in most day-to-day activities and just life in general that, my days get filled. But for official fun, I would say, I've been going to concerts, bowling, some alumni activities with other people that have been through the treatment center I went through and through some of our sister programs. So hanging out with different people in recovery. And then, I guess we were kind of talking about this earlier, is that, sometimes I look around and I'm like, I don't think I've talked to a normal person in weeks.
You're
like
welcome.
I am like, yeah, there you are.
You got a real treat here, dude.
Yeah. So,
the old fucking moron.
So
here,
sometimes it's like, I just go hang out with friends who have no dog in this fight, or no real addiction issues, and just kind of, I don't know. It's not to get away from it, because I'm well aware that I never get away from who I am.
Sure.
But sometimes I feel like it's nice to hear that normal person's perspective on things.
Yeah.
Whatever constitutes normal.
Yeah, mine's ever
I
changing.
think it also shows like some growth on your end too, like where you don't have to stay away from certain people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they say in the book that you should be able to go wherever you want. You should you should be able to get to a place to where you can go wherever you want and not feel
right, and not feel awkward or feel like how am I going to go do this sober?
Yeah, like I'm not going to go to a wedding because they're going to be drinking there.
Right. My sister's getting married.
I can't go to a concert because there's going to be alcohol there.
Yeah, my sister's getting married second week of October, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a huge party. Because she told people not to bring their kids, which I think is
no kids allowed.
Which I think is
that's pretty much the neon sign.
Yeah.
That's the neon sign for let's get fucked up.
Yeah, her invitations are like leave the kids at home.
No kids allowed.
And I'm excited. Like I'm excited to go.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a blast.
All right, so you've seen a ton of or maybe not a ton, but you've seen a lot of concerts.
Not a ton, but I'm starting to go to more and more.
Okay, so over the last year, while you've been sober. Let's just call it that. What's your favorite concert that you've been to so far? What's the coolest one? You dropped some cool names there.
I saw Deftones when they were here. So that's absolutely. I was on like on the floor. I spent like $500 on my ticket and went alone and didn't give a shit because it was amazing.
Dude,
but that's
it's one of my favorite bands of all time.
They're so damn good. And in live, like, he was so good live, dude.
Did you listen to the new album?
I have not listened to the new album yet.
That's almost the mind-blowing thing to me is the new album is great. I loved it cover to cover, and being a follower of the Deftones since I was like 12 and seeing, and now at 40, and they're still putting out an album.
Right,
That's really
great
good.
Music. Right.
And it's different, and it fucking blows me away.
I'm gonna listen to it on the way home.
It's really good.
You're the third person that everyone. I think everyone's hesitant to listen to a band like that's new album when they've been around for so long.
Always, dude. Metallica puts out a new album, and I'm like,
that's exactly what I was going to say is
Jesus.
Metallica. Or I was never a huge Guns N' Roses fan, but
yeah,
when they came out with whatever
Appetite for Destruction.
yeah. I remember just the collective, like, just shit.
I always thought the same thing when Linkin Park would come out with a new one.
Yeah,
right.
Like, fuck, they're gonna change. And it's crazy because they changed their music through the years
did a real
because
good
they
job
get
of
older and they become dads and shit. But they still pop out really good music. And even when the guy killed himself,
Chester.
yeah, whenever he killed himself, we went and watched them when they came to Austin a few months ago. The girl's phenomenal.
That's why I've watched some videos of her.
She's amazing. She
a
works
really
the
good
crowd
job.
really well. And like it's still Linkin Park, but now they have a female on there. And rest in peace to him. But man, she does a phenomenal job. Like I was real hesitant when my buddy gave us tickets. I was like, yeah, but it's Linkin Park without
Right.
How good is she? And then I started watching some videos of their newer songs, and I was like, oh, she can sing fucking amazing.
Yeah, the Deftones and Pantera are like my favorite bands from just.
Pantera was just here.
I don't want to go see them.
I understand,
and it's just, and it's different. I'm sure it's amazing. I love Zakk Wylde, and the drummer from Anthrax is great.
It's different,
but it's also like I know what Dimebag and Vinny both felt about a reunion. They both were against it, and the only reason why it's happening is because they're dead.
Right.
And to me, I know it just gives me a little feeling like this only is happening because two members of this band are gone.
So you think if they were here, they would have never got
They
back
would have
together?
never got back together. No, because Phil and Rex were always pushing for it, and they were just staunchly against it. And Vinny, whenever Dime got assassinated on stage, he was against it because he was like, Pantera's 4 people. And that's my little brother that I watched get shot in the face on stage. And that was like my right arm, that was my everything.
Just not doing it.
And you're asking me to go play the songs that we wrote together as a collective of 4. So Pantera's 4 people. And if we don't have one of them, Pantera's not a thing. And Vinny said that before he died, and that made a lot of sense to me. Like, as a guy who has a brother, it's like, it wasn't about money. It wasn't about, because he would have made boatloads of money.
To come back, yeah.
And he wasn't about that. It was about the principle and the loss of his brother. Like, I don't want to go up there and play those songs without him. Like, it's just too painful. And then he passes away.
So it's really just a Pantera cover band.
We get a Pantera like reunion, right?
Yeah.
And I love them, and I appreciate what they're doing, but it's just it's a little too awkward or weird for me. But
Was Dimebag your favorite?
Favorite guitar player?
Yeah,
dude, I mean, he's up there. I think he's definitely top 5.
Who's your top 3 guitar players? Do you have any
guitar players?
Yeah.
Shit.
This is a new question we've never asked.
Yeah,
this is the one you never asked.
Give me your top 3 too.
Okay, I'll let you go first. You're the
all right. I'm gonna.
guest.
I always for some reason I always flip flop which one the guitarist for Zeppelin is. It's
Jimmy Page.
Yeah, Page is the guitarist and Plant's the singer. Okay,
Yes.
Jimmy Page. Man, really hard. Eric Clapton in Cream.
Yeah.
Man, I'm such a traditionalist. I mean, I would say Jimi Hendrix probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
like any top 3 is going to have Jimmy in there. Like nothing would look the way that it does now. And you can make that argument for Jimmy Page as well.
Right.
Without him.
I'm going to be driving home and be like, oh man, I sound like a moron. I just picked the 3 everyone knows. But honestly, like, I don't know who.
But you have Eddie Van Halen too, dude. Eddie.
I was never a Van Halen fan.
But
I don't know. But he can, he can play the guitar.
But
like
the guitar licks
were
just a fucking
insane.
I mean, Randy Rhoads.
Do y'all like Stevie Ray Vaughan?
Love Stevie Ray Vaughan.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Love Stevie Ray.
Who's the other dude that does, is it Bonamassa?
Joe Bonamassa is awesome.
He's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, Joe Bonamassa is great. I mean, there's so many. That's really hard. And it's, music is subjective, right? Like my favorite bands are Pantera and
except for the Beatles.
Deftones.
The people that say they don't like the Beatles, I'm just like,
so I like the Beatles. I'll appreciate you saying that you don't like the Beatles, but you have to give them the fucking respect.
I think that most people who say they don't like the Beatles are just being
contrarian.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Is this where you tell us that you don't? They're just being the opposite. They're being the opposite.
So
is this where you tell us that you don't like the Beatles?
No. But I will tell you, I don't know a Beatles song unless y'all told me what it is, and I'm sure I've heard a bunch of them.
Oh, you've heard,
but I don't know what songs they have.
Hundreds.
You've heard,
and I heard one time a long time ago that music today, like 90% of it that is played, comes from something that the Beatles did. Does that make sense?
But if you listen to John Lennon and the guitar player slipping my mind, I should know his name too.
Paul McCartney
or
George Harrison?
George Harrison.
Yeah.
George Harrison.
Yeah, Paul McCartney's the bassist.
George Harrison seemed to me of McCartney, Lennon were like the wordsmiths, but Harrison was
the musician.
The musician.
Yeah, I think so too.
And if you can listen to George Harrison's like interviews, and he's like Muddy Waters. Like, he's
While My Guitar Gently Weeps is probably my favorite Beatles song.
Did you ever see Prince do that?
Yes, I have.
Dude, at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when he got inducted.
It's insane.
He did My Guitar Gently Weeps, and I was like, holy shit.
Really slept on Prince as a guitar player.
As a musician.
Yeah, as a musician.
He played everything.
Yeah.
So that's music is so subjective. And like Dime is just my favorite guy. But I saw him when I was 11 years old. It was my first concert. And I remember seeing a metal band like up there having the time of their lives. Like, usually metal is like very serious and but Dime was like smiling and running around the stage with his guitar and, like acting like he's fucking, the bass player and shit with his guitar. It was fun. It was like, it was a unique band to me. Like, it probably had to do with me being 11 and being like, holy shit, that's the coolest thing.
Very susceptible at 11. Pantera's fantastic, though.
Yeah.
Anywhere, if you're ever around Dallas talking to people who are like older.
Texas.
Yeah. They all have like some kind of like Pantera story.
Yeah. They're like,
I
ran into Dime one time.
I've had multiple ladies that worked at treatment centers that I was in. Like, I used to hang out at Baby Dolls and I knew them, and I've had multiple people tell me
the clubhouse.
Yeah, the clubhouse.
The clubhouse was theirs.
Yeah,
was Vinny and Strip Club,
of course,
and
obviously
Baby Dolls.
Yeah, Baby Dolls, the clubhouse. But
I think every big city has a Baby Dolls.
I was probably 30 when I went there for a bachelor party, and they were just playing nothing but metal in there the whole time. That was like Rage Against the Machine and like.
That's the only band that I haven't seen that I would love to see. Them and Offspring.
Rage Against the Machine.
I've never seen them. Offspring was just here, and I didn't know that they were just here. Otherwise, I would have watched them.
Yeah,
Linkin Park's my all-time favorite, and then Five Finger Death Punch. Is the best. They put on the best show that I've ever seen. I've been to probably 200 concerts, and believe it or not, Nickelback,
dude,
puts on one of the greatest concerts I've ever seen, and I've
I'm going
seen
to take
him like
your
3
word for
times.
it. I'm just going to
Bro,
take your word
it's
for
insane.
it.
I didn't go
I
to
get
the
it.
first time.
No, hold on.
I went to watch I went to watch other bands and not Nickelback. We were gonna leave, but Nickelback was the mainliner. And we were like, well, fuck it, we're already here. My buddy didn't want to leave that I was there with, and I'm like, I guess we'll watch these fucking losers. Bro, they fucking killed. They killed so much that every time they came to Austin, I bought tickets to go watch them again. It was insane. But people for some reason just hated them.
My sister saw Creed maybe 6 months ago and said they killed it.
Really?
Yeah, so they were badass. Yeah.
Yeah, so Charlie Sheen documentary on Netflix. The Nickelback.
Oh, the Nickelback documentary. Yeah.
I was in the camp of fuck Nickelback until I watched that. And I was like, these guys, I mean, they leaned into the fucking everybody hates us, but they're like, they hate us so bad that we keep filling up fucking stadiums.
Right.
You know, so like, but they were very upfront about it. And they were like, something weird happened. We wrote a ballad. And then it was like, fuck that band. Like they suck. But if you, and then I went and put them on iTunes or whatever. I was like, these not bad
good.
songs. Yeah. After the shit ones that were on the radio or whatever, like the ones outside of it, I was like,
I mean, they did the same thing to Green Day when they wrote Time of Our Lives.
a little bit.
Yeah.
But Green Day was a little bit fathered in too.
Yeah. But I remember reading a magazine article, and I had to be pretty young when that song came out, that was calling Green Day posers and how everyone was going to turn against them. And they're still huge.
Yeah, they put out another record right after that, and it was awesome. And like, it's we've talked about this before, but it's like and you just said it, but as guys get older, shit changes with them. They go through different experiences, right? Metallica puts out the first 3 albums, and they're just brimstone and hellfire.
Yeah.
Like all of them. They're just as heavy as it gets and crazy. And then they're like, and nothing else matters. It's like, dude, they grew up. They became 40-year-old men who battled addiction and like all this shit. Like, can't just be fucking mind-bending, fucking crushing.
And at this point, if they
were
were putting out the same exact style, people would be saying that, you know, they're just redundant or yeah.
Well, unless you're Slayer.
Right.
Slayer there ain't no fucking ballads in Slayer's catalog. Like,
I've been to a Slayer and Hatebreed concert.
That's so good.
And the mosh pit was like fucking insane.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
For like 3 songs, because it's a lot of old dudes.
Yeah.
Like me, they get tired.
Yeah, they were like a 12 minutes.
This was like 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Back
this
when
was 20 years
they're in the middle of it. Yeah, dude. Yeah. But
Korn. I like Korn too. Korn's always one of my favorites.
I've heard that Korn concerts are amazing.
Yeah.
I've heard they're really good live.
They're really good.
I went to watch Korn. Yeah, they were really good.
If they come back around, I'll definitely. I
They-
would definitely
they-
go
so-
see it. We were supposed to see Modest Mouse.
Modest Mouse.
Remember?
So when Korn, it was the Family Values tour. Remember that?
Yeah.
So it was Korn, and there was some other good. There was Family Values tour always has good bands.
They were great.
And Korn, when Jonathan Davis came out, so we were in the pit, but it had been raining, and they had like plywood on the ground for you to stand on, and it was all muddy and wet already. And then he come out with a fire hose and sprayed everybody right from the get go, like a fire hose.
No shit.
And then they played the song
Blind.
Yeah. And if you know the song Blind, like for the first 2 minutes, it's just fucking ramping you up.
Oh yeah.
And then fucking once they, fucking it just went crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Korn was
amazing.
Korn was fucking awesome.
Well.
So we need to go to some concerts.
Yeah, dude. I think we
got
got
a concert. Yeah,
we should
soon.
do a 2 addicts and a moron little gathering at a concert. I think that'd be fun.
That'd be tight.
Yeah.
Tight.
Tote.
I don't know.
Tote and toy like a toy guy.
Toit like man's anus. Right after he says toit like a tiger. Toit like man's anus.
Like man's anus.
Yeah. Well, look, I think we got another one in the books here. You know, we got our special delivery of Chipotle coming in the house right now.
Perfectly timed.
Yeah, perfectly timed. Thank you so much for coming in, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate it. And I do want to get a little selfish here and talk about our trip to Iowa
Yeah, let's do it.
a little bit. We got invited to go to a sober event in Iowa here recently. It was the first time our clown show ever got asked
Went
to
on the road.
go on the road.
Clown show on the road.
Yeah, so
I saw some video.
Yeah, man, it was.
We're actually going to post some more stuff now.
Yeah, we have some more content coming
Yeah.
soon to everybody, but Marshalltown, Iowa, God's Way Ministry, great host, put on a great event and saw it fit for our dumbasses to be out there. And I mean, it was one of the biggest honors of my life. It's weird to say that being sent to Marshalltown, Iowa was an honor of my life, but it really was.
Yeah.
Those people were so good. All the guys in the houses.
Bro, the nicest sober living I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Dude.
Yeah, so the guy that brought us up there, he's only been doing it for what? A year
and a half.
A year and a half. He bought one sober living, got another one, and they got another one. It was the nicest. It makes this place look like shit. I mean, he had a nice, really nice setup for these guys. It was insane.
The backyard was insane.
I mean, how many guys in the house are we talking?
At each house was like 8, maybe?
I think he said there was 9.
Was it 9?
At the one we were at, and then you had a couple others that we didn't get to go to. But apparently they kind of use this one as sort of a hub. They're all very close to each other.
Like barbecuing and all that shit.
They were just barbecuing, and the guys couldn't have been any nicer.
All cool as fuck.
All super cool.
It was kind of like the guys that we had at Solstice. Mm-hmm. If you can imagine a group of those type guys at this sober living all together, it was pretty tight.
Dude, if we all went to sober living together,
yeah,
it would have been mayhem
yeah,
in the best way possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think you get enough dudes around each other, and
it's mayhem.
it'll end up being mayhem, whether there's drugs there or not.
That's true.
Right? Like,
That's true.
just gonna
yeah,
be endless farts and
dick jokes.
yeah, like giving dudes pink eye, rubbing your ass on their pillows.
Yeah. But yeah,
like that.
it was awesome. Rob was awesome.
Rob was great.
Awesome. Kelsey was awesome.
Was great.
And all the guys that we met, I've been keeping in contact with a couple of them. Fucking really cool dudes. It was crazy because they acted as if like we were like celebrities coming out there.
Yeah.
And we're far from that. And we were just honored just to be there.
Yeah, it was our honor, but these guys were it was
These guys were stoked, knew who you were, been listening to you, like so pumped.
yeah.
That is
in Iowa.
That's
In
amazing.
Iowa.
That's
In
so
Iowa.
awesome.
But that blew me away.
Yeah.
Like I still struggle with like it was that trip that really set in my sight that I need to stop putting bars on this thing, like putting ceilings on it, because if you would have told me a year and a half ago that we were going to be in here and it was going to take us to a little town in Iowa at a big sober event and we were going to be representing a brand,
Speaking in front of hundreds of people.
speaking at a thing and they would give a shit. It was insane. It was really
There
cool.
was a moment when me, him, and Destiny were there. And were we eat? We was either in the hotel or eating or something. I was
Yeah.
like, y'all realize that our fucking podcast has us in fucking Iowa.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
It was so surreal, It was really a cool thing.
It still is, man. Like when we were there, like it was probably every night where it was like it was heavy. Like it
Yeah.
was heavy on me. Like before I was going to sleep, I was like, man, like we have a responsibility here. Like now it's like a real
Right.
responsibility, like to do this. Before it was just a couple dickheads coming into a room and speaking into a dick-shaped mic.
Yeah.
But now it's
something.
Some-
Yeah, you're like some like harbinger of hope to these people. Like these guys,
but
Well,
they
your story will be too.
I mean, I hope so. And all the people that I've listened to that you guys have had on, it's like you guys have platformed a lot of growth and recovery for people.
But I feel like that a lot of it has to do with you coming here to sit here and everybody that's on this wall. You know,
Yeah, you're definitely the most important of the three, the two addicts and a moron. Whoever sits there is literally the most important person to the show.
I mean, you're bringing a whole new perspective.
Yeah.
You're bringing a whole different thing. And we'll never lose sight of that. And I say it all the time, and I'll leave you, and we'll leave you with this, but I know that you came in here and you're very intelligent. You got your shit together, and you made that look really easy. But it's not, man. Like, it's not easy to come in here and get vulnerable on a platform where a lot of people are going to listen and see it, right? But for you guys to come in and do that is, I'll never lose sight of how important that chair is. It's way more important than ours. So thank you so much for coming on here, and we should definitely do it again. And I'll say this, leave everybody with this, but I know you're at Sober Livings and you're a tech at a place. You're very involved. You ever need us for anything, you let us know. We'll come running. We'd be happy to involve ourselves in anything that you've got a part of. And yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's been a pleasure, guys. I really appreciate y'all having me on.
Yeah, dude.
Honestly.
Thank you. Thank you.
It kind of feels, honestly, it's such a fucking blessing to have something to say that might be of benefit to somebody.
Dude.
So for y'all to allow, the opportunity to say it, and hopefully it resonates with somebody, that's amazing. And
if it hits one of them, dude, and it's gonna, at minimum, something you said on here is going to resonate with someone. I promise you. So couldn't be any more thankful for that, and honored to have you in here. So with that being said,
love you.
Love you guys.
Thank you for coming, brother.
Like, subscribe.
I appreciate it. Love you, bub.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Love you, Joe. Love you, Seth.
Hey, love you, Alan Luckett.
Oh, yes. Love you too, Alan.
Love you, Alan Luckett. One of our biggest supporters, man. I love you to death.
Yes.